morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today we've got updates on, well, we've actually got an update on one product I have told you about, and updates on another couple of products which I was gonna tell you about, but I didn't get time, and then they just went and got officially revealed, so I'm kind of updating you, but really I'm just telling you from the off. Good. So let's start off with the one I showed you very recently. This is the Origin Forme Palkia VSTAR League Battle Deck. This is a good one. I told you this was coming the other day. I told you this was going to be a good product. I told you this was one that was absolutely worth getting excited about. And that seems to be exactly what we've got here. Now, I told you we didn't know exactly what build of Origin Forme Palkia VSTAR we were getting in the League Battle Deck. We still don't. Sorry about that. We just don't really know. Because you see, I told you the other day, when I showed you about this product, I told you that there were basically two different versions of this deck that existed. One that was built around Inteleon, but that was unlikely to be the case, to be the one they choose, because by the time this comes out on the 5th of May, and it does now have an official confirmed release date of the 5th of May, by the time this comes out, that's going to have rotated, and this is supposed to be like a really good deck that gets you playing competitively very quickly, and, getting to grips with a really good deck, a competitively viable deck. So it doesn't really make much sense to release it with Inteleon. I told you the other option was Kyurem, because that build had been seeing a little bit of play, and that's still true, incidentally. But if we can see the front of the box here, we can clearly see you got 3 Origin Forme Palkia V, you got 2 Origin Forme Palkia VSTAR, and then you've got a Radiant Greninja. Nowadays, you get 6 fancy cards, let's call them. So, in the Mew deck, you got yourself 2 Mew V, 2 Mew V Max, and 2 Genesect V, as an example. Here, you get a free 2 of the VSTAR, and you get your Radiant Greninja. Essentially, price-wise, value-wise, whatever, Pokemon have made it pretty clear. In these decks, you can have 6 fancy cards, V, VSTAR, etc., but you're not getting any more than that. And we don't have the full deck list. What we've got here is the front of the box, and a brief description that's not going to help us too much. So, what that basically means is, we don't really know. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We just don't really know. We know it is going to be full of really good competitive cards, because the League Battle decks already are, but we don't know what the deck list looks like. Just to be clear, we know it's going to be good. Now, is it going to be as good as the Mew deck? Probably not. As I've told you before, the Mew deck was literally 16 cards. Different from the Mew V Max deck that went top 8 of the World Championships. That was really over the top, ridiculously awesome. That's still a top deck in the format today. Palkia, it's a good deck, but like I say, at the moment, it's really seeing a lot of playing success with Inteleon, which is probably not going to be in this build. So my hope here, and it's a hope, let's be clear, we can't know for certain. My hope here is that the people making this deck, and we know the people making these decks care about Pokemon, play the game, are involved, etc. My hope is that they are basically giving us their best look at a post-rotation Palkia. Now, we don't know what post-rotation Palkia looks like because we're not post-rotation. But I'm hoping, essentially, that the people making this deck have had a look, and this is going to be their prediction for what a post-rotation Palkia looks like, and you never know. If they do a good job, this could end up being like a proper top-tier deck moving forward. Now, one of the products I was going to tell you about, and I've recorded the video and everything, but it's kind of irrelevant now, so I'm not going to bother editing it up. The Cyclizar EX box. It's an EX box. Yay! We know we're getting Mimikyu. That is the very first EX box, which is rather lovely. And then we're getting this one afterwards. Again, we're talking about the 5th of May, so we're talking just over a month after the release of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet EX. No, wait. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, it's EX in Japan, it's not actually called EX over here, though it does have EXs in. And this Cyclizar, this is one that we've been waiting for, because I told you this was never going to be in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Because if we look at Pokemon Scarlet and Violet EX over in Japan, they have 6 EXs in each. And we've been officially told that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet over here is going to have 12 EXs. So the only thing that made sense was that we were going to get all of the 12 from the set in our set, and life was going to be good. Incidentally, the closer we get to release, the more that seems exactly what's happening. But then we had one like Cyclizar, which was in a promo pack. There was a promo pack that came out over in Japan, which was really rather awesome, and it had 8 exclusive cards that couldn't be found elsewhere. And then it had an EX, as they all tend to do, and that EX was Cyclizar. But yeah, we never actually knew how we were getting it. As a fun little side note, there were the free starter decks over in Japan, and they had they had promo packs as well. But they were weird, right? So there were basically 3 different versions of them. There was the Quaxley deck, the Fuecoca deck, and the Sprigatito deck. And there were 8 promo cards. And there were 2 cards, including Cyclizar, that could be gotten in any of those 3 promo packs in the starter decks. And then the other 6 cards are split into 3 pairs, and each pair could only be gotten from the promo pack of the particular starter deck it fit with. Although they were still 1-card packs. And this was kind of cool, so you had a few chances to get Cyclizar. I'm delighted to say I did pull one. It's a lovely card. Is it a good card? I mean, not really, no. I wish it was a better card, honestly. 210 HP is fine. But it's single energy, search your deck for a basic energy and attach it to this Pokemon. But then you've got the problem of you're just sitting there waiting to take a hit. You attach the energy, but then you've had your turn, it's your opponent's turn, you're sitting in the active, and you're kind of sitting there hoping your opponent doesn't KO you, and if they do, you've done 30 damage and given up 2 prizes, and that's not great, honestly. So, yeah. Sorry about that. It also doesn't hit for weakness, so whereas, 30 damage, when you add in something like a Choice Belt, can actually become quite a decent amount of damage when you're hitting for weakness. Here, if you're not hitting for weakness, it's just a little bit like, what's the point? Like, you're not hitting for weakness, so you're never getting up to those big numbers like you want to, and that's a little bit of a pain. As for the big attack, it's 3 colorless energy, and it does 180. So with a Choice Belt, you're doing 210, but the magic number for Pokemon Vs is 220. And sure, a lot of Pokemon EXs seem like they're going to be down near a 210 when they're basic rather than 220. So you'll get a bunch of basic EXs, but it's not exactly perfect, I think is fair to say. But it is exclusive. And this isn't one of those EX boxes where, well, the regular version is exclusive, but there's a full art, etc. that you can go and get in the set proper. Cyclizar EX only exists as a promo card. There is no full art, there is no other version. I mean, there might be in the future, we never know. But as it stands at the moment, Cyclizar EX only exists as a promo card. Which means the only place to get Cyclizar EX is going to be in this product, so that alone makes it worth picking up. Obviously, you get yourself 4 packs, obviously you get yourself the Jumbo version, and you get yourself an extra holo card here, it's Rotom. And it's not terribly exciting, it's terrible Junk Hunt, or it's called Junk Hunt, it's really half Junk Hunt, don't get excited. And it's not an alternate art or anything like that, it's just the one from the set. So I don't know whether it's going to be holo in here and in the set, or it's going to be taken out of the set to put in here. That we're going to have to wait and see. These are often, the extra holos are often just regular set cards, but as holos, rather than being taken out of the set and used exclusively here. I'd imagine that'd be the case again, but we'll have to wait and see. And then we end up with the mini tins. Yay! And look, I've gone on record a few times here, and basically, I'm not a huge fan of the mini tins. Now, to be perfectly clear, that doesn't really matter. Not every single product is made for me. Some of these products are made for other people. That includes these. So these are all, I should say, all of this is coming out on the 5th of May. That's the deal. So you're going to be picking these up. They're going to be $10. You get 2 booster packs. You get a sticker sheet. And you get an art card that you can combine to make the picture that you can clearly see at the top of the box here. And you'll notice it's basically a bunch, they are the Paldea friends. It's a bunch of Paldean Pokemon. You've got the first partner Pokemon, but then you've got yourself Smoliv, and you've got yourself Forme, and you've got yourself Lechonk. There's nothing terribly special about these, I'm going to be honest with you. There's no exclusive promos or anything like that. These are good for one thing, and that's not a negative, just to be clear. That's just the way it is. These are good for, I want a couple of packs, and a tin, and an art card and some stickers, and they are great presents for kids because they're cheap and they've got packs and stickers and an art card. And that's kind of awesome. It's nothing more than that, it's nothing less than that. That's where we are. And they're not for me, and I'm probably not going to buy them, but you may want them, or you may know people that want them, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty gosh darn cool. So there we go. That's what we're getting. We're getting ourselves the Palkia VSTAR League Battle Deck. That's awesome. We're getting ourselves the Cyclizar EX box. That's awesome. And we're getting ourselves mini tins, which I'm personally not terribly excited about, but you might be, and if you are, that's pretty gosh darn cool. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it's over to you guys. I want to know what you think about these new products. I want to know which ones you're going to be picking up. I want to know anything you want to tell me. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus pods, join a Discord and chat with us about Pokemon or anything else, and just generally have an awful lot of fun. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.